Hey, what's up? If you're new to this channel, then a short summary is a couple of years ago I bought this land plot. I built a shed on it. I will be building a house here. I will document everything and I will also reveal the costs. In today's episode, I will be building a fence. It's a pretty classical one, 1.5 meters in height. I have a total of 270 meters. That includes the forest side plus the two neighbors that I have. I will also have 30 plus something meters of fence that I have to build, but this is next to the road, and this I will be doing in a later phase because I need to keep this area clean for the construction period. So for 270 meters of fence, I will be drilling more than 100 holes for the posts. I have to concrete them all in. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of repetitive tasks. But sure, let's get into this. All right, time to do some concrete work. But don't worry, I'm not gonna make you watch, because I'm not a psychopath. I'm gonna make it easier for you. So before putting on the fence, I realized that I made a huge mistake when concreting in those posts here. First I put a line between the end posts and the post with the supports. And just having a straight line was a mistake, because the ground here is a little bit higher, which means that the net will stand higher than the post and it's not gonna look good. So I'm gonna have to deal with it somehow. Off camera, I built other parts, other sides of the fence, and I did not run into that problem there, but it seems on this specific side I need to tackle this issue a lot. But we will see once we get there. So this is the actual solution that I have. I'll just have to dig down a little bit so that the net could go a little bit inside the ground. So you can see some posts are significantly higher than the net itself. It's because I did not want to leave too big of a gap below, and because of the land curvature is quite off. So what I just decided to do is I'll just place the net that's level with the ground, and then I'll just cut the posts off. From side it looks fine, but if you look from this side, from this angle, you can see it's quite wobbly and it's not tightened at all. So for that, we have a special tool for that. So with those pliers, I'll just make waves inside the net. And this will tighten up all the wires going from this side. So I would have to repeat this process a couple of thousand times, and then the net should be straight, right? Let's put it to the test. Tight as piss. Even now that the fence has been built, by far I'm not yet done. But the next part, it's gonna need a little bit of a backstory. So I'm gonna set camera aside, I'm gonna get to work, and then I'm gonna let you know the backstory of what comes next. Well, first of all, it's always good to convince yourself how much you need a new toy. So I got this bad boy to help me dig a trench. So around 5 to 6 years ago, I helped my friend build a new fence in his garden, and we decided to plant some arborvitaes for privacy reasons. At first I didn't think much of them, but then I noticed how well they started growing, so this idea got stuck with me. I measured them each following year just to see how they grew, and they were growing like crazy. The longest growth I witnessed in 1 year was 1.3 meters. That's over 4 feet. And then I knew that one day this is what I want to have, a privacy hedge grown into a wall. I'm sure you've seen those immaculate green walls somewhere before. Maybe some of y'all even gone and touched it? No? Maybe just me then. I didn't even have a land plot in that moment, but I had made my decision. And secondly, I thought, well, this is gonna cost me probably a lot of money, so I thought that, I have time, why not try and grow them myself? In the meantime, while I figure out where I could get a land plot. Well, I didn't know much about growing arborvitaes either. My houseplants back in the days were starving most of the time. So I did some research, and somehow I decided to plant the seeds. And yeah, I know, some of y'all are gonna think, hey, stupid, arborvitaes are grown through propagation, meaning cuttings are taken from an existing trees, so they get planted, and after they root, they can start growing into new trees. Well, before you crack your knuckles and start typing off on the keyboard, let me just tell you, I managed to get some quite surprising results from the seeds, which you will see in a moment. So I planted the first seeds, saw the first leaves pop out, only to find out they're not even real leaves, just a kind of kickstart leaves that contain enough nutrition for the plant to start growing actual leaves. And eventually they got slightly bigger and bigger and bigger, and as to one point I needed to start repotting them into larger pots. Well, I did that for several years. I even got to a point where I kickstarted the seeds at my apartment under special growing lights, just to prolong the length of the first season. And I was lucky enough that my friend allowed me to bring them to his garden. But I knew I would run out of space eventually, so yeah, planting them now in my own land plot feels kinda like a milestone reached. Something I've been aiming for years. So this is what I meant by growing arborvitae from seeds, that the results can be quite amazing. So you can all take a wild guess, how old is this tree? I'm going to tell you in a couple of seconds, but you can take your guess and you can write it in the comments. So this tree is about over 50 centimeters in height. That's like 2 feet. And I can tell you that this is a little over 2 years old. I would say 2 years and maybe 4 months. So 2.5 years ago it was just a seed, let's put it this way, and now it's over 0.5 meters in height. So yeah, growing from seeds you can have some pretty amazing results. Although most of its height has come from this year's growth. So what they need now is they need winter, because you can see it's a bit wobbly down here. So after one winter, this part will get strong and hard, just like my tree's bottom part. And then it will be steady and it won't be so wobbly anymore. I mean, just look at that. Amazing for 2 years growth. So what you want to do is you want to create a bigger hole so that the first soil that will touch the roots is rather loose and easy to penetrate for these young roots. I have roughly built 262 meters of fence, 125 posts concreted in. This came to a total of 1,564 euros. I did spoke with both of my neighbors about sharing the cost of the fence, and one of them was very cool about it and agreed, and the other side basically told me to fuck off. And now add wheat barrier fabric and 10 cubic meters of mulch. This comes to a total of 2,088 euros. Well, it is starting to look nice. Well, maybe not nice, but good. I think real nice. It will look next year once this grass has grown out, and once those arborvitaes have gotten a little bit bigger, I think then it will be glamorous. So it's starting to rain, so I need to take some time off. All right, see you back in a minute. But what's more interesting here is that in this video you have seen me build around 10% of that whole fence, even less. And even that, most of it's being fast forwarded. I have a rough calculation of time that's gone into it, including measurements, concreting the posts in, attaching the net, digging the arborvitae trench, wheat barrier, cutting holes, the arborvitaes themselves. Everything all together came to a round of 115 hours of physical labor. Even though the other sides are built off camera, because this repetition wouldn't make a very interesting video for you. Plus, with planting the arborvitaes, I did get some help from the family, so thanks for that.
It's still a pretty astounding number of working hours, 115 that went into it. I'm going to take a guess that in 2 years, those trees will have reached the fence height and they will start to blend into privacy hedge. In 4 to 5 years, this is going to be. Well, I guess you have to find out. By clicking subscribe, you won't lose this channel. And in one of my future videos, you will definitely see the outcome. So stay tuned and take care.